Welcome to the video, everybody. I'm going to give y'all some updates on what we have been up to at the condo and some of the things that I have been working on and also Ben, just to bring y'all up to speed. In the last video, I showed y'all how I upcycled a $5 coffee table and I had to put a corner on it. I had to get really creative. I also got a free headboard from Ben's uncle. It was brass, very outdated, but I showed y'all in the last video of how I upcycled it, and now we've got a new headboard for our bed over there. Now I just scored this beautiful dining room table, and I'm going to show y'all in today's video how I'm going to upcycle it, and I'm going to take it over to the condo, so now we'll have a $35 dining room table. I found this at Salvation Army. It was back in the back, and I really didn't even notice it until I was getting ready to leave. I looked over and I saw it. It had been $65, but they had it on sale for $35. You can see it's got a really nice wood top. It's got some damage, not really damage, but it's got some scratches on it, some stained marks. But we are going to paint it, and I'm going to show y'all how I go about giving this table a makeover, and for $35 we're going to have a really nice dining room table, and we're going to do it on a budget. I'm not really a professional furniture makeover type person. I really stay away from big pieces of furniture, unless I have to, but in this case this was too good of a deal to pass up, and it's going to need a paint job. So the first thing I thought we needed to do was get the sander and kind of lightly go over the top of it, because it's got a shiny finish on it. So I don't really want to take it down to the wood, but I do want to go over it very lightly with the sander and just kind of remove a little bit of that top layer and get a little bit of that shiny layer off. And then I'm going to show you the painting process. I tried several different kinds of paints on this table. It was kind of trial and error, and I even reached out to my friend Jackie at Ruth and Ruby, because she sells a ton of products and she paints a lot of furniture. So I actually texted her one day and asked her advice on the best kind of paint, and just kind of how to seal it. So once we got the base sanded down a little bit and got that top layer off, we just kind of went over it now and cleaned it up really good and wiped it down really well. And I went back and forth on what kind of paint to use. So I wanted to try something a little bit different than chalk paint. So I went and got this Rust-Oleum semi-gloss in white at my local hardware store. And I was painting this, and Ben came out and he said, "Why are you painting like that?" I'm the type painter, I paint until my brush runs out of paint. He dips his paintbrush in the paint pretty often. And then, so comment below what kind of painter you are. Ben, he loves to paint, and he is a very good painter. I'm not, but so I was like, well, hey, if you want to paint, you go right ahead. So we got a layer or two of this paint on the table, and I did not like it. It was like it showed all the flaws and all the dings in the table, and it looked like it was straight. I kept going over it. I kept getting my sanding block. I kept smoothing it out, and I just did not like it. And I think this right here was after we got one layer on it. And I'm not sure if maybe we should have rolled the table with a little mini roller and maybe got a smoother finish. So y'all, I just went back to my trusty Rust-Oleum white linen chalk paint, and I put a couple of layers of that on it. So that is what I should have just stuck with to begin with. But the legs were bugging me. I did not like that base color anymore. I thought I was, but I don't. It's going to have to be white to match the top. So the first thing I did was I just took some primer and I sprayed the bottom really well with some white primer, and then I went over the bottom of it with my brush and I gave it a couple layers of chalk paint. I just kept going over it until I got the base completely covered, and I got the whole thing white, and then I just stressed it a little bit around the edges. Now, it's not perfect, but for $35, I'm going to make it work. And it's round. I went back and forth if I wanted a rectangle style table or round, and I think round is going to go better, because all of these rooms right here share the same wall. The family room, the dining room, and the kitchen are all on one wall, and it's an open floor plan. So if I get too many square things in there or a rectangle table, sticks out a little bit too far. I felt like the round table would be just enough that it wouldn't take up a lot of room, and we could always, shove it up to the wall if we ever need more room. And another thing that I've been working on is organization, especially in our kitchen drawers. I've run across a couple of these at Goodwill, and I think I only paid $2.99 for it. So these are great little drawer organizers. So if you don't want to pay retail for them, a lot of times I have found these out at the thrift stores, so be on the lookout for these. And these are really nice because they're expandable, and I've got a couple of these that I've got at thrift stores, and I have put them in our kitchen cabinet. So I put this one in our spice drawer just to keep it organized and keep everything in place. Another thing that I scored at a yard sale that I really needed was a paper towel holder. I got that for $1, and I just went over it and spray painted it with, I think this is some kind of like a cream color in the Rust-Oleum. I think it's a satin finish, and you just screw that little top off, and then you put your paper towels on it. So I got that. So everything, like I say, that I can find at the thrift store or a yard sale right now, I'm definitely on the lookout. I want to show y'all these beautiful placemats. I got these in this beautiful orange color and also in a wheat color, and I'll show those to y'all in an upcoming video. But these are actually linked in my Amazon store. And I also want to show y'all all of my dishes are thrifted. Most of the plates at my thrift store at the Goodwill will be 99 cents. And I've got a lot of Pioneer Woman brand. So be on the lookout at your thrift stores for beautiful, dishes. Don't pay full price. Look at your thrift stores. Now let's talk kitchen sinks. Y'all, we are on our third kitchen sink. Our dilemma here is we've got a existing hole pre-cut from the original granite countertop, because we put the original granite countertop back in to save money, and I'm glad we did because it's absolutely beautiful. But we're working with a pre-sized hole now, so we can't just go out and buy any kind of sink. We've got to get something that's undermount that will fit up under there, or a top mount. This undermount right here is close. It's not perfect. We're not, super happy with it, but if we have to go with it, I think it'll work. But as you can see, it's just a little bit too big, but I think once we got it mounted, it would work. But Ben did go out online, and he did find some other options at Home Depot. So we ordered this one online, and it was delivered to the house. It didn't take long for it to be delivered, but this one is going to be a top mount, and it's going to be in the color biscuit. So I think a cream color would be really pretty. So we've had this one setting up on boxes just to, just have it up there just so we can get a visual for how it's going to fit and what it's going to look like. But here is the one that we just got from Home Depot. We're going to try it. So here is sink number 3. So it's packaged really nice, and this is a beautiful sink. Actually, I think cream color would really be pretty with the granite countertop and then that bronze colored faucet that we got. So it's got all the hardware, and you can see how pretty it is. We prefer a double sink, but we'll take a single, if we have to. But we're just going to put it up here. We're going to pray it fits, and if it does, we are going to be so happy. So we put it up here, and it is too big. Per the measurements online, it fit the criteria. What we're running into is those little back edges. I don't know if you can see, but they are rounded. They are rounded off in the corners. So that, I think, is where we're having, the most trouble. It's not a square hole. It's rounded off. So I think that's, where we're coming up to be, too short. So anyway, we are still looking. So y'all stay tuned for the kitchen sink. Okay, kitchen sink number 3 is packed up in the truck. It'll go back to Home Depot. So y'all stay tuned for more on the kitchen sink. But I did score some chairs at a yard sale. So let's see what we got in the back of the pickup truck. I got a couple things at a yard sale this morning. And something that we were needing was some dining room chairs. I only got 2, but the 2 I got I think are absolutely beautiful. I couldn't pass these up. She had 20 each on them, and I asked her if I took 2. if I got both of them, since she didn't have 4 and I needed 4, if she would take less, and she says she would. So I got both of these beautiful chairs for $30. And they're heavy. They're very nice. I don't know what brand they are. I'll have to do a little bit of research on them. But we're going to take them up to the condo, and I'll show y'all how these look with the table. I'm so excited over these chairs. I'm so excited to see how they're going to fit with the table. Now, I know I've only got 2, and they're not going to match. So on down the road, I will probably end up painting these. But right now, I think they're absolutely beautiful. But I think that's the fun of decorating. You just gather it, and then later on you can always refresh it with paint, or, you know, just kind of add to it as you go. And in the next video, I will show y'all how I style everything and how I do a tablescape for the table. I also want to show y'all this huge clock that I got. We've got a couple of these in our house that we have now, and I got both of them at Lowe's. And I think I paid like in the 80, maybe 60 to $80 range for them. I got this one the other day at Burke's Outlet, and y'all only paid $24.99 for this. This has got all the colors that I love, since I'm going with neutral in this condo, like my other house. So I'm either gonna put this up over the stove, since we don't have our open shelving up yet. I don't have the lamps on yet, so it's kind of dark. But anyway, I'm thinking about putting it up over the stove, just to give that wall a little something. And then once we get the open shelving and stuff up, it still may go up there, and just give that wall a little bit of something. Or we could put it over here over the sofa. There's so many ways that you can decorate with real large wall clocks. And also, are they not beautiful, but they're functional. The 2 that we've got at home, I don't know what I would do without them, because we look at them constantly just to get us to where we need to go and what time it is. And so we actually really use these decorative wall clocks. So I'm excited to find that I found this one and get this one hung up. On the weekends, we do have a working stove. Even though we don't have a kitchen sink, we do still take a pizza. We'll get us a little frozen pizza or something from Walmart. We'll add some toppings to it. We take it over there. We bake it in the oven, so we can still eat and enjoy dinners and meals at the condo. So just, you know, we're just trying to make the best of what we have done so far and just have fun with it. And so far, we've really enjoyed it. Our daughter is expecting a baby in January, so we are about to plan her a baby shower. This is the little event room that is at the condo that we can reserve for little special occasions. So I have this reserved for a date in November. So me and Ben went down on this day just to kind of check out, you know, how big it is, and just kind of get a feel for how we're going to decorate it for her baby shower. Another thing that I've really been on the lookout for is lamps. And y'all know I love lamps, and you think, gosh, you've already got like a million. You can never have too many lamps. But I scored these at Goodwill, and they've got some beautiful texture to them. And I got them each for $5 a piece. So I'm going to show y'all how we can just take a little bit of spray paint, refresh these, and I'm going to use these over at the condo. So just an inexpensive way, you know, go out, thrift your lamps, and if they're not, you know, the color that you have in your home, you can always paint them. The lampshades, that one had a lot of smoke smell to it, so I'm not going to use the lampshades. I am going to update those and just give them fresh ones. So I found a new color of spray paint that I'm loving right now, and it's called, the color of it is Sand Dollar by Rust-Oleum, and it's more of like a tan. It's not a pure white, but it's kind of a putty color, but it's a real subtle neutral color. So if you're looking for another color besides white and spray paint, the Sand Dollar works really well. So y'all, okay, we're at Home Depot one more time. This is sink number 4. So we are going to take this one home. We're going to take it to the condo and see if it'll fit. So y'all will see in the next video, along with us, how this sink will work. So y'all stay tuned for that. So I will have all of this in the upcoming video. I appreciate y'all for coming over and watching. All your support, love, and encouragement towards our little condo endeavor. We truly appreciate all your sweet comments. And until the next video, we hope y'all have a great week. We love y'all, and we'll see you soon.